Fine. Okay. So I'm telling you a little bit about Git. Who of you uses Git? Yes, that's good, everyone, hopefully. So do you like Git? Who loves Git? Great, great. So I hope you can learn some useful commands here, because when I check Git website, I always learn something new. So Git is great, and it's very intuitive, right? Or maybe not. So I have this article here, and I want to go through the examples very fast, but you can read everything in detail on this page. It's very long. So I'm just trying to do all these examples in a short way on the terminal. And I'll start with the Git status. So if you want to know what your status is, you do Git status, and it shows you the branch. You can also use Git branch, but that's actually a lot to type. Okay, I try to remember that. So that's a lot to type if you want to know your status and your branch. You want to see it always, right? So now there's a Git prompt. So in my prompt I can see the branch name, which is useful, and now I change something, and now it adds a star to my prompt. So I see I have modified files. So that's very useful. It doesn't show you if you have any new files, but yeah, I couldn't live without a Git prompt, actually. So who of you has ever committed something to the wrong branch? Yeah. So hopefully this helps you avoiding it. You see your branch always. You can also, I think, show it in Git or other editors.
What version of Git supports this part? I've come across many who work with particular version of Git, not with the other version of Git.
This should work with all versions of Git. And yeah, it's linked in here, and yeah, should work with ZShell and Bash. So yeah, I was showing you Git status, and now I have a new file and a modified file. So this Git status is very long. It fills half of your terminal. If you just want the information, is there anything changed or new? So there's Git status minus SB, that's minus minus silent, minus minus branch. And it shows you which branch you're on, and modified files and new files. That's all you need to know. But that's a lot to type, right? So,
Get your alias.
right. So this is the alias. It's very easy to add aliases to Git. Just put this in your config, and you can do this. That's very easy to type, but I type it so often that I actually have this shell alias. And yeah, if you want to get more inspiration for any shell aliases, ask Ingi for a pair programming session. He uses a lot of aliases. And here are some more examples what you probably want to use for Git commit, Git checkout, Git diff. And yeah, switching between branches. So I check out the emitter branch, and this is how I get back to the previous branch. Did you know this? No? You knew this? Oh, okay. Half of the people. Yeah. Pardon?
Checkout failed because you have
Oh. Okay, yeah. It works. It works. Believe me. Check before you commit. So you have git commit. New file. And it will open an editor, but you can also use git -v, which will actually show you the diff. There's no diff because it's a new file. So that's very useful if you want to write a commit message and what did I change again actually, so you can look at the diff at the same time. And of course I also have an alias for that. So git stash, you probably know git stash. That's the git stash list. It's not very helpful, I think, but there's a nice alias. I got this from Curtis Poe. It at least tells you when you stashed the commits. So 10 months ago, you probably want to delete it. Git word diff is nice for actually I actually added those files. So I just changed a little thing in the dist ini, and it will show you just the word it has changed instead of the whole line. So that can be very useful too. Tab completion. Who uses Git with tab completion? Yeah, it's really, really wonderful, I think. So you can actually complete branch names or commits. You can complete configs, so which values are allowed to set the color configuration. So you do this, tab, and then you hit tab and you get all the allowed values for it. So that's very sophisticated. And it also lets you add the files. So if you have some modified files, it will offer you only the modified files if you type git add tab. Okay, so you can read this all in detail. And now about partial commits. Do you know about git add -p? Okay, that's great. Do you use it regularly? Okay, I will try to show you an example. So we have a little calculator module here. And so the developer changed, she added braces, she added spaces to the braces. And at the same time, she was adding a feature. So that's a formatting change and a feature she added. And she actually wants to do this in 2 commits, because you shouldn't mix those things, right? Replacing tabs with spaces and stuff like that. So you type git add -p and the file name, and then Git offers you, wait a second. I don't see the reg exchange up there, but I think the red is a little bit difficult to read. But so first, I want to add all the formatting changes. I say, yes, I want this one, but I can also split it. So if this chunk is too large for you and you want to just add a part of it, you type S for split, and then it will prompt you for smaller chunks. So I don't want this one, but I want this, this. So now you have added a part of the file. It will show you a green M on the left and a red M on the right. Git diff tells you just change this line, and git diff minus minus cached shows you what you added to the index. Now you can commit that, and then you can go on with your feature. So that's really useful. I don't use it daily, I don't use it weekly, but sometimes, and then it's really, really handy. You can see a detailed example on this page. Because if you do this the first time, it can be a little bit confusing. Okay. The history. So sometimes people screw up their history, they did something wrong, and then they ask me, you know, can you look at this? And I say, okay, show me the log. And what they do is, okay, here's the log. But this is mostly not helpful. So I have this alias LG, and this shows me one line for every commit, and it shows me the graph view with the branches. And this allows me really to get a quick overview what's there. It's the current branch. And if I want to see more branches, I have the git L alias, which shows me all branches, not only the current one. So this really helps to see where you are. You look at the head. This is where you are. And these are all my aliases I have at the moment. So just play with it and see what's useful for you. If you have a history with lots of merges, the git L will probably not work very well for you, because so there are some tools also. I rarely use them. I just use my aliases. But there's tick. Who knows tick? And then there's git K. Who knows this one? And git G. Wow, 5 people. Okay. So git G is a little bit nicer to look at, but I think it has less options than git K. And this is actually one of the reasons for my talk. So here are 2 examples of a history. So the 2 left examples are from a project that I started to work on at some point. And they asked me to fix a bug. And they told me actually this probably was introduced in feature 123. And I looked at the history on the left side and I said, wow, how do I find where the branch was actually merged and started? And because it was merged several times into master and merged back. So this is ugly. The second one is actually beautiful, I think. But the Git history shouldn't be beautiful, right? It should be boring. And so this is how the Git log looked like after I added some features and committed them, and I rebased them before. This is much nicer, I think. But people say, oh my god, rebase, it's evil. but it's not. But I'll show you first how to remove a commit from the wrong branch. So I added you probably don't see that notification, right? So I will add a commit in a calculator branch. And then I realized, oh, I wanted to add this to master. This is a bug fix, and it should be in a hotfix, and I'm in a feature branch. So what do I do now? I check out master. Now I create my hotfix branch. Okay, so now the git commit I want is up there. Who knows cherry pick? So I cherry picked, so you see it twice here. And I go back to my calculator branch. So the hotfix is pushed, all right, and now thank you. And now how to remove this commit from the branch. This looks a bit evil, you know, git reset hard, oh my god. So I want to reset to this one. And now the full commit is gone in the calculator branch. If you do something wrong, if you reset to 1 minute, okay. If you reset to the wrong one, you can also check the ref log. So you can get back all your commits, hopefully. I actually wanted to show you how to avoid merge commits. There is a pull -f only. Do you know it if you make a commit and someone else made a commit in the meantime and they pushed and now you want to push, you cannot push, and then you pull and then you get this weird merge commit. So use git pull ff only. It will only accept fast forward pulls, and then you can decide what to do. So you can also configure that.
So does minus rebase work the same way then?
Yeah, minus rebase also works, but it decides it for you. So it will do a rebase, and maybe you don't want to do it. So I avoid that. And this is how you can set it as a default behavior. And unfortunately, I probably don't have time to show you the actual rebase, but it's all here. So this is a very detailed example of rebase. And with this approach, you can get a very clean history, and yeah, try it out, play with it, and you know you can always abort a rebase if you do git rebase ---- abort. So nothing can go wrong. Okay, so probably time is over, I guess. Okay, check out this site. It's linked on the schedule on my talk. Are there any more questions? Okay, thank you very much.